Hi, I'm Connor Mulcahy, and for my motor skill that I'm going to learn how to fly fish from my roommate Austin Randacker. So this is me attempting to cast with no instruction at all. How much line do I need?
Get a little line out.
How's that? What do you think?
That's actually not that bad.
Really?
No.
Sweet. Good?
Yep.
Okay. So when you were casting, you were kind of a little farther away from your body,
Right.
like out here. So
Okay.
you want to try and keep like your arm kind of shoulder width, but like maybe a little farther out to just not make it awkward. But you don't want to be way out here because you have like, see how it made that sound?
Right.
You have no like control.
So
do you,
kind of more.
try and keep it like over top to start.
Yeah.
Like right over top of your head, because then you can look where you want to cast, and it's just gonna lay right out there for you.
Okay.
So
as opposed to sidearm.
As opposed to sidearm. You can cast sidearm, but
Right.
I think it's a little easier if you just try and keep everything in one straight line.
Okay.
And you actually did pretty good with like waiting on your back cast.
Right.
Some people try and come back, and then they try and come back too soon.
Okay.
So work on just trying to keep that form like right over your shoulder. Keep like your arm in front of you. Don't try and break your wrist a lot. Try and keep like your arm like one. A little awkward. Wait a little bit longer on your back cast. There you go. That's better. Don't drop your rod tip so much. So like what that means is when you're coming back, you're dropping your rod tip like below parallel.
Okay.
You know how like golfing, parallel when you're coming back.
Right.
You want to keep it like up here and come forward.
Okay. So like.
Yes.
Okay.
Just wait a little bit longer.
So let me just recap for me real quick. All right. So we want that thumb on top.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of want one smooth motion off of the elbow.
From the
just
elbow.
Kinda
Exactly, right there.
wait a little bit longer.
Yeah,
Don't go past parallel.
Yeah, your rod, the motion of your rod's fine.
Okay.
That looks good. See how your line was straight and not all wrinkly?
Right.
That's what you want.
Awesome. Holy God. Don't keep your rod tip up. Let him have a little line at the end. Good. Yeah. Take your time. Keep it up. Yep, keep that rod tip up. Keep it.
But it's kind of like their hand towards me. Perfect, right there.
Woo! Look at me go.
So for the motor skill, I learned how to fly fish. I used my roommate Austin Randacker, who is a fly fishing guide. So he basically takes people out and gets them to good areas where they can catch fish, while also teaching them a little bit about fly fishing and basically just learning the basics of fly fishing so they can go out on their own and fish. So when I started the assignment, I had some little bit of fishing background. I'm from Massachusetts. I've saltwater fished in a boat with a regular rod, but I've never fly fished before. My grandfather fly fished, so I've seen him do it. I understood the basic motions of it, but I wanted Austin to kind of give me a little bit better of a background. In the beginning, Austin told me I started off really strong, knowing how to like use the timing of the rod with everything. The first kind of feedback he gave me was the snapping. In the beginning, there was a little bit of snap. That was the line catching itself like a whip and breaking the sound barrier, and that told me to slow down, and I used that as augmented feedback. Another piece of feedback that he gave me was not going past parallel and having the line hit the ground. So that he kind of helped me with golf. Wow, you don't want to go past parallel in the backswing. You kind of get to a certain point and then you move forward. Two things that kind of helped me out a lot. And one more piece of feedback he offered to me was to not sidearm it. So he had me pretty much just have my arm out front and go from my shoulder back to straight in front of me. Pick one spot and just go straight line back and forth. So I don't have to worry about angles and stuff like that. Just simple advice. Then for the second lesson, we went out on the water, and I actually got to experience what it's like to fly fish. A little bit more difficult than I thought. Casting is probably not the most like the hardest part about fly fishing. It's definitely finding the fish and learning where they are and how to throw the reel and line out there and stuff like that. So I did get a little bit better as time went on. Some of my old habits came back in, but Austin was quick to correct me. Overall, I think Austin was a great teacher, and I mean, good enough for me to catch a fish. So I guess that's good. I think that's all I have. Thank you.